Mayor Cabish.
All right, we'll call the state of Wisconsin versus Oscar Castillo, 25 CF 2671 appearances.
State appears by ADA Ben Wagner. Mr. Castillo appears in person and by counsel Eric Habish. We have reviewed the criminal complaint. That's cool. Date of birth. Yeah, address, date of birth are correct. Waive reading.
Right, I'll make a finding of probable cause and are not guilty plea to the misdemeanor. And I believe we have a victim who wanted to make a statement in Mr. Castillo's case. They would need to unmute on Zoom and then identify themselves.
Hi, I'm Lucero, future ex-wife of Mr. Castillo.
Okay, and what did you want to say about bail or bond conditions?
I just right now do feel very unsafe with him and in my home. Yep, so if we can be apart for a while, that would be great.
Okay, so you would like no contact with you and your residents and things like that?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. What's the state's position on bail?
The state does not have an objection to a signature bond, but with a condition that the defendant have no contact with Lucero M. That he be banned from any place that she resides or occupies, and that he be banned from any places of her employment, including 1821 South Stoughton Road and 108 King Street. And as well as the condition that he not use or possess any alcohol.
Great, any objections?
No, she's in the process of moving up, but she went to go in their house to react. Does have a place to stay. If I can stay at the house of the stay with the parents, I have nobody else that has.
Okay, well, you probably want to talk to your lawyer because anything you say is going to be taken down.
Right. So
And he can make the arguments on your behalf.
no contact her residence, wherever that may be. So I mean, we'd have to establish that she's living somewhere else and then she'll be able to go to the residence. So I think that would be clear. But just a matter of like, no contact her. I really don't. Okay. Understood. No objection to those conditions.
All right, well, I'll order a signature bond, condition of a no contact direct or indirect with Lucero M. Any place that she's occupying or temporarily residing. I did overhear some of what Mr. Castillo had to say. I don't have any authority to tell the victim where they have to live. If they decide that they're not moving out of the place that you use as your primary residence, you're gonna have to find some other place to stay until the bond is modified or that party moves out. You're gonna want to be very careful that you're not going back there without knowing for sure that they're not gonna be there. I would suggest if you go back, you probably go with law enforcement just to make sure. I'll order a ban from any place of her employment and specifically 1821 South Stoughton Road, 108 King Street, order that she not possess or consume any alcohol. So for the time being, you think the Homburg Lane is still a good mailing address?
I believe so.
All right, and you can always sign up for text message reminders and certainly keep in contact with your lawyers so you don't miss any future dates. As to time limits,
We would waive the time limits.
okay, the clerk can give you the status date if you want to hang on.
Right now, looking at December 15th, 2:00.
All right. That works.
Okay, we are adjourned.
Thank you. Red sweater. Thanks.
And is this the exhibition?
This is a Dion Murphy for an exhibition.
All right.
Morning, Alan.
Good afternoon.
So Murphy?
Yeah.
All right, we will call the state of Wisconsin versus Dion Murphy. It's 25 CF 2668 appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Murphy appears in person and with attorney Sean O'Connell. I've spoken to Mr. Murphy about the extradition complaint. It's my understanding that he is prepared to waive his right to an extradition hearing.
Okay, give you the written waiver of extradition, but Mr. Murphy, I have to ask you some questions. Did you have enough time to speak to Attorney O'Connell about your right to an extradition hearing?
Yes.
And you understand the issues at that hearing, or whether you are the Dion J. Murphy that the state of Missouri wants? Not whether you've committed the crime, that's not the issue, but are you the right Dion Murphy that they want for that particular prosecution?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then the question is also whether they've got a legal right or basis to bring you back on this charge. It's a fairly limited hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand that you'd have the right to insist on an extradition hearing where the state would have to get some formal paperwork called the governor's warrant, have the right to have an attorney at that hearing and test the sufficiency of that governor's warrant to make sure that the Ts are crossed, the Is are dotted, and everything's in order. Do you understand all that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anybody make any threats or promises to you to get you to waive your right to an extradition hearing?
No, sir.
Do you wish to waive your right to an extradition hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I will find that you freely, voluntarily, and knowingly waived your right to an extradition hearing. We need you to sign the written waiver of extradition, and then I'll sign the order of remand. And Missouri will come get you on these charges.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep, you're welcome.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay,
All right.
we are adjourned.
Good luck to you.
Right this way. Next up is Maxwell WICK.
Great, we'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Maxwell WICK. It's 25 CM 2819 appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Wick appears in person with attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the criminal complaint, waive its reading. You want the mail from somewhere else?
Yeah.
We're gonna update the mailing address. You can go ahead and speak loudly and tell them the mailing address right here.
4412.
Mr. Wick, right here.
I'm sorry, 4412 Windsor Road?
4412 Winnequa Road.
The
4412 Winnequa Road.
Winnequa, okay.
That's what's on the complaint, actually.
Ah. All right, and do we know if Mr. Wick's going to be eligible for an attorney?
I do not have that information.
Okay, so the bailiff's going to give you the public defender info. You're certainly free to hire an attorney on your own after today. If you're not able to, you can apply with the public defender's office to see if you're eligible. And if you are, they'll get you a lawyer at little or no expense to you. And then, are you waiving a reading of the complaint?
Yes.
I'll make findings of probable cause and are not guilty pleas to the charges. I believe we may have a victim who wanted to make a statement in this case. If they are on Zoom, first, I believe you would need to unmute and then identify yourself. And if the person's on a phone, I think it would be *6 to unmute. If they're using a tablet or something, there should be a microphone icon in the lower left tab called audio. And you click on that to unmute. And again, this is on the Maxwell WICK case. If we had a victim who wanted to make a statement, they just need to unmute. All right, well, I guess I don't have somebody who's clearly identified as the victim that was listed on CCAP, so I'm not sure if we have them. Maybe we can hear the state's argument, and if the party shows up, I'm certainly willing to listen to their statement.
Victim witness messaged me and said that phone number on there matches.
Okay, so if we have the victim in the WIC case and you want to make a statement, you have to unmute your phone. It would be *6 on the phone to unmute.
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yep, that's all right. Can you just first identify yourself for our court reporter?
Yes, this is Meadow Doherty Dennis.
Maybe Attorney O'Connell, you can wait for a second. I didn't catch the last part. You said Meadow something?
Meadow Doherty Dennis.
Okay, and Ms. Dougherty, what do you wish to say about bail or bond conditions?
I fear for my safety if he gets out. I would just want the most protection I could get. I filed for a 4-year restraining order, but his drug use and aggression is like unpredictable. He's tried to take my life in the past, and I am just scared for my safety.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Dougherty, and the state's position on bail.
No objection to a signature bond, but with the condition that the defendant not have any contact with Meadow D, and that he be banned from any place that she resides.
No objection.
All right, and I don't have the benefit of a PSA. Is there a prior criminal record?
I looked, I didn't see anything on CCAP for a prior record.
I don't see anything in our file.
All right, well, I have a joint recommendation between experienced counsel. I'll order a signature bond condition will be an absolute no contact direct or indirect with Meadow D. And that she be banned from any place that she's temporarily occupying or residing. And Mr. Wick, if you don't follow those conditions, you can get charged with bail jumping. And there's a good chance the state will start asking for cash bail if that happens. So it's very important that you follow that. That's regardless of whether the victim reaches out to you. You can't have contact in any form, text, email, in person, through third parties. Understood?
Yes.
Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Right this way, Mr. Wick. Next up is Gabriel Rashid-LAIS, attended by Zoom. I have been informed that there's a lot of kicking and screaming by this person in general. Deputy Wright should be replaced now, close to please.
I think that's largely consistent with our experience yesterday.
We're ready for you.
All right, we'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Gabriel Rashid-LAIS. That's 25 CF 2648 appearances.
The state appears by 88 Ben Wagner.
Attorney Sean O'Connell appears in person on behalf of Mr. Rashid-LAIS, who appears by video. I have received a copy of the criminal complaint. I do not know if he has. I haven't gotten a thumbs up from the bailiff that he has received a copy as well. Waive its formal reading. I have no information on whether he is eligible for the public defender's office.
All right, we'll make sure that he gets the public defender info, give them a call to see if you're eligible for a lawyer. So I think this one got adjourned from yesterday. Maybe there were some competence issues and lack of cooperation with the attorney at that time. It looks like he may have a number of cases in cash bails. And appreciate the clerk muting that. I'll make a finding of probable cause for the charge here, and we'll address bail in this case, state's position on bail.
State's asking for $1,000 cash bail with the condition that the defendant not have any contact with the Dane County deputy KH unless required by jail operations. The defendant has recent failures to appear on September 25th, 2025, September 23rd of 2025, and prior cash has been posted in his open cases of $750 and $500. And he failed to appear after posting cash. So I think an increased amount of cash is appropriate here.
All right, and he may have $1,000 in 25 CF 2217. Defense position on bail.
I don't have any information, so I don't have any further argument. I would at this time, though, ask that you order a competency evaluation.
All right, and it actually looks like maybe there's multiple cases where he's got $1,000 cash bail. It's probably a
Yep.
moot point. Given the prior competence issues and Attorney O'Connell's request, I'll find that there's a basis to doubt competency. In order that evaluation pursuant to local court rule, I will set bail. Given the history of failing to appear after posting cash bail, I think the request by the state is warranted. I'll set $1,000 cash bail, no contact direct or indirect with Deputy KH. Unless it's required by the deputy's duties as a law enforcement officer. And then we'll suspend the proceedings and get this case maybe married up with the other cases if they're still pending competency. We are adjourned.
Next up is TREYDARIUS ROLACK.
Mr. Roll. Got 1734 North Court.
We'll call the state of Wisconsin versus TREYDARIUS ROLACK. It's 25 CF 2676 and the state of Wisconsin versus TREYDARIUS ROLACK for a bail bond hearing in 24 CM 1377 appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Rolick appears in person and with Attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the new criminal complaint. Waive its reading. He is eligible for representation through the public defender's office. The address on the complaint is correct.
I'll make a finding of probable cause in the new case. And we need to address bail in both cases. It looks like there was a failure to appear on September 15th in the misdemeanor case. State's position on bail.
Your Honor, the state in 25 CF 2676 is requesting a cash bail of $3,000. The defendant ran 3 times in one night from law enforcement. He's had problems appearing at court. He failed to appear at an IA in 24 CM 1377. After he was on a signature bond, he was brought in on a warrant, and then after the initial appearance, he was let out on a signature bond and failed to appear at the pretrial conference, which is the other open case. So I'd ask for $500 in the misdemeanor case, 24 CM 1377. In the felony case, I'd ask for conditions that the defendant not operate a motor vehicle, or in the alternative that he not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license.
And Attorney O'Connell.
I don't have an objection to the non-monetary condition. Mr. Rolick is not a man of means. He tells me he doesn't really have any money except for a couple $100s to post. I think less than what the state is asking for would be appropriate.
All right, let me take a closer look at things. So the record in the misdemeanor case suggests he probably did have some form of notice of that failure to appear on June 20th. It would be highly unusual for a commissioner to order a warrant on a misdemeanor possession of THC at that initial appearance if they didn't have some information that the person was personally notified of that court date. So that's significant. And then we had the one in September that's concerning. The eluding is pretty extensive. In multiple instances, he's going over 100 miles an hour allegedly. As Attorney Wagner noted, there were 3 efforts to stop the defendant. He didn't do that, driving in a really dangerous manner, putting his life at risk and others at risk. I think given the appearance history and the alleged behavior here, that the state's request is pretty warranted. I'll set $3,000 cash bail. I am going to order that she does not operate a motor vehicle. If this is the alleged behavior when law enforcement tries to pull you over, then maybe you just shouldn't be driving. In 24 CM 1377, I'll set a lesser amount of cash bail there than what was requested, given it's a THC case. I'll set $250 there with the prior non-monetary conditions. As to time limits for the preliminary hearing,
Not waived.
okay, we are adjourned.
Right this way. Next up is Michael Goldsby.
We'll call the state of Wisconsin versus Michael Goldsby. It's 25 CM 2809 appearances.
State appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Goldsby appears in person and with attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the criminal complaint. Waive its reading. Did your mail go to that address?
Yeah.
The address on the complaint is correct, and Mr. Goldsby is eligible for representation through the public defender's office.
I'll make a finding of probable cause, one or not guilty plea, state's position on bail.
No objection to a signature bond, but with the condition that the defendant not have any contact with Alexi B. That's ALEXIE. B is in Bravo, or Amy S. And then he'd be banned from the 100 block of North Lakewood Gardens Lane. Right, correction would be 0 to 100 block.
All right, we don't have an objection to the no contact order with the individual. We do object to the ban from the address the state indicated. Mr. Goldsby indicates that the individual who the no contact is with is not at that residence.
Okay, any response from the state?
Give me one moment to check that.
Well, the
That
complaint
does seem.
suggests, I was gonna say, the complaint says that AS indicated that one of her roommates let the defendant into the residence and he'd been staying in the 49 Lakewood Gardens Lane for approximately 5 days. I guess the way I read that is AS saying they reside there with another roommate.
AS does live there, but AB does not.
All right. Does Mr. Goldsby have any real reason to be in the 0 to 100 block of North Lakewood Gardens?
I believe AS is his significant other.
No, he's doing.
Or no, excuse me, I'm sorry.
It's Michael.
A different person who's not in the complaint resides at that location.
All right. I'm gonna order a signature bond. I'm gonna order the no contact director and director of Alexi B and Amy S. I am gonna order the ban from the 0 to 100 block of North Lakewood Gardens Lane. You're just gonna have to have contact with your significant other, who, as I understand it, is not one of the 2 people I've ordered you to have no contact with. But you're gonna have to do that at some different address. Otherwise, you're gonna be in violation of the bond conditions. I think the victim that's residing there is entitled to that protection. See.
Nothing further.
Okay, we're adjourned. Good luck.
Next up is Demetrius Davis.
The no contacts and the address ban.
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Right, we'll call the state of Wisconsin versus Demetrius Davis. It's 25 CF 2672 appearances.
State appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Davis appears in person and with attorney Sean O'Connell. We received a copy of the criminal complaint, waive its reading. The address is correct and Mr. Davis is eligible for representation through the public defender's office.
Right, we'll make a finding of probable cause, state's position on bail.
No objection to a signature bond, but with the condition that the defendant not use or possess any alcohol and that he be placed on pretrial services monitoring for alcohol.
And any objections?
No.
Right, we'll order a signature bond. Condition will be that you go to pretrial services, so they're gonna give you that map. It's on the 5th floor of the Dane County Courthouse. You need to be there by 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
At the very latest, you might still be able to get there yet today, I don't know, but they stopped doing evaluations at 3 o'clock, so if you can't get there before then, you'll have to go tomorrow. They're gonna give you a breathalyzer or a bracelet to make sure that you're not drinking alcohol or that you're not possess or consume any alcohol. Any questions about that, sir?
No, Judge.
Okay, what about time limits?
We can wait.
We'll waive time limits.
Okay, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Next up is SANTROY Campbell.
Próximo va a ser el caso de SANTROY DEMAR Campbell.
There'll be a signature bond too, and some no contacts.
I think you're gonna have to maybe do consecutive.
Yeah.
All set?
Yep.
All right, we'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus SANTROY DEMAR Campbell. It's 25 CF 2670.
Vamos a estar en el acta en el caso del estado de Wisconsin contra SANTROY DEMAR Campbell, 24 CF 2670.
Right, we have certified Spanish interpreter Fred Svensson interpreting.
Tenemos al intérprete Fred Svensson interpretando.
And Mr. Svensson, I'll just swear you in, if you'd raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that you will truly, accurately, completely, and impartially interpret these proceedings?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right, and if we could get the appearances.
Si podemos tener las comparecencias, por favor.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
El estado comparece por el fiscal asistente Ben Wagner.
Wait one moment.
Si me permite un momento.
All right. Yep. Mr. Campbell appears in person and with attorney Sean O'Connell.
El señor Campbell comparece presencialmente con el abogado Sean McConnell.
We have received a copy of the criminal complaint, waive its reading.
Hemos recibido una copia de la denuncia criminal. Renunciamos que se lea.
The address is correct,
La dirección es correcta.
and I do not have information regarding eligibility for the public defender's office.
No tengo información sobre elegibilidad al defensor público.
All right, sir, the deputies handed you the public defender information.
El diputado le ha entregado la información del defensor público.
If you need help getting an attorney, give them a call and you might be eligible for one at little or no expense to you.
Si necesita ayuda, usted puede contactarse con la oficina del defensor público. Ellos le pueden asignar un abogado a un costo bajo.
I'll make a finding of probable cause for the charges and enter not guilty pleas to the misdemeanors.
Voy a hacer una determinación de motivo fundado ante los cargos y entrar en el acta una declaración no culpable.
What's the state's position on bail?
¿Qué es la posición del Estado sobre la fianza?
No objection to a signature bond,
Ninguna oposición a una fianza de promesa,
with the condition that the defendant not have any contact with Paulina MP.
con la condición que el acusado tenga ningún contacto con Paulina MP,
that he be banned from the 2400 block of Winnebago Street,
que él sea prohibido estar en la cuadra 2400 de la Winnebago,
that he be banned from the victim's place of employment at 109 East Wilson Street,
que también sea prohibido estar en el trabajo de la víctima en la 109 este de la Wilson,
and that he be banned from any place that she occupies.
y que sea prohibido estar en cualquier lugar ocupada por ella.
And any objections?
¿Alguna oposición?
No objections except for one.
Ninguna oposición menos una.
Regarding the specific address ban, I believe there's some dispute over whose residence that is.
Sobre la prohibición de estar en la dirección, pienso que hay una disputa sobre de quién es esa propiedad.
So I would just ask that the condition be that he be banned from any address that the individual occupies or resides at.
Quisiera pedir que sea la orden que él será prohibido estar en cualquier residencia ocupada por la víctima.
Right, and any response from the state?
¿Alguna respuesta del Estado?
I understand in looking at the record that they both shared that address.
Entiendo mirando el acta que los dos comparten esa dirección.
I don't have any information as to whether she is moving or not.
No tengo ninguna información acerca de que si ella se va a mudar o no.
So I think I would leave it to the court's discretion as to what makes the most sense.
Pienso que lo dejo para la decisión de la Corte determinar qué hace más sentido.
Right. Well, generally, I think when there's a dispute or some uncertainty as to whether somebody's going to be at a residence, it makes more sense to have a more general prohibition, which the state already asked for.
Bueno, a veces cuando hay una disputa sobre o algo no está bien seguro de la dirección de las partes, pienso que es más adecuado una prohibición más general que pidió el Estado.
So he couldn't be there, even if she's not there, if the victim is residing there and using it as their residence.
Él no puede estar ahí si la víctima está usando esa dirección como su residencia.
And obviously can't be anywhere else that they're temporarily occupying.
Y obviamente no puede estar en algún otro lugar temporalmente ocupada por la víctima.
So order a signature bond with the condition that you have no contact, direct or indirect, with Paulina, is it MP?
Será una fianza de promesa con una condición de no tener contacto con Paulina MP.
I'll order that you be banned from any place that Paulina MP resides or uses as a residence or temporarily occupies.
Usted lo tendrá prohibido estar en algún lugar ocupada temporalmente por Paulina MP.
Including but not limited to their place of employment at 109 East Wilson Street.
Incluyendo, pero no limitado, al lugar de empleo en la 109 este de la Wilson.
And Mr. Campbell, I don't have any authority to tell another party that they can't reside in a particular locale.
Señor Campbell, no tengo la autoridad para insistir que alguien no esté viviendo en algún cierto lugar.
And that person may actually have legal rights to be there regardless of whether they're on the mortgage or the lease.
Puede ser que esa persona tiene ciertos derechos legales para estar en esa dirección, aunque no estén en la hipoteca de la casa o en el contrato de alquiler.
Bottom line is, if they are going to use that as their residence or they're temporarily occupying it, then you can't be there. You're going to be running afoul of your bond conditions.
Pero hay que entender que si ellos van a usar esa residencia como el lugar donde estén viviendo, aun si sea temporalmente, usted no puede estar ahí. ¿Entendido?
The safest thing to do is to have preserve the peace with law enforcement to make sure that that person's no longer there and moved all of their stuff out and not let them in.
Lo más seguro que se debe hacer es contactar a las autoridades, a las policías, para hacer un evento que se llama Preservar la Paz, para ir con usted y asegurar que esa persona se ha mudado y ha salido de la residencia antes de entrar.
But if you violate the bond conditions, you're the one who's going to get in trouble and have bail jumping charges.
Pero si usted es la persona que viola estas condiciones, usted es la que va a tener problemas y nuevos cargos por quebrar las condiciones de su fianza de libertad.
And given the type of case, it wouldn't be uncommon for them to then ask the court for cash bail if that happens.
Y no sería fuera de lo común en ese tal caso que el Estado estaría pidiendo por dinero en efectivo como fianza en esa ocasión.
As to time limits,
Sobre los límites de tiempo,
If I have one moment.
si me permite un momento.
As far as time limits, they're not waived. As we're going along, there's one other issue I wanted to bring up.
Sobre los límites de tiempo, no los vamos a renunciar en el momento, pero hay otro asunto que quisiera presentar.
Mr. Campbell shares a child with the no contact.
El señor Campbell comparte un niño o niña con la víctima de ningún contacto.
My understanding is that at this point, there is not a court order in place regarding custody.
En este momento no hay ninguna orden en lugar sobre la custodia.
So I would ask that Mr. Campbell be allowed to have contact with Paulina through a third party for child custody purposes only.
Quisiera pedir que se permita contacto con Paulina por medio de algún tercero con el propósito único, la custodia física del menor en común.
all right, and any objection from the state?
¿Alguna oposición de parte del Estado?
No,
No.
All right, so I'll modify the no contact to allow contact through a third party only for purposes of child custody and child placement.
Voy a modificar la orden prohibiendo contacto con Paulina para decir que solamente puede ocurrir ese contacto por medio de terceros, solamente con el propósito de custodia física o custodia legal.
And if the victim doesn't allow placement, then you're going to have to get something filed in family court to
Y
address.
si la víctima no le permite tener custodia física, entonces tienes que entablar o presentar una solicitud con la corte para cambiar eso.
Right. I think that takes care of it and we'll be adjourned.
Eso lo concluye, estaremos terminados.
You ready to swipe? Next up is Stephen Shu, appearing by Zoom. Thanks, Fred. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good back.
Great, we'll call the state of Wisconsin versus Stephen Shu. It's 25 CF 2678 appearances.
state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Attorney Sean O'Connell appears in person on behalf of Mr. Shu, who appears today, I think by video. Do not see Mr. Shu. There we go. And Mr. Shu, do you have a copy of the criminal complaint?
Yeah, I can't believe it. I can't read it really well because I don't have my reading glasses, but I didn't realize what I was doing. I didn't mean to do that.
So Mr.
Hey.
Shu, you may not want to make any statements because all this is being recorded and you have the right to remain silent. You do have an experienced attorney who's representing you here today.
So we'll waive the formal reading of the criminal complaint. A good address I have for Mr. Shu is the Beacon, 615 East Washington Avenue. And I do not have information regarding eligibility for the public defender's office.
Okay, so Mr. Shu, if you can't hire an attorney after today, make sure you contact the public defender's office. I believe that's the information the deputy just gave you.
Okay.
I'll make findings of probable cause.
Listen, excuse me. I want to tell you something. I just got a full-time job. And I'm doing really good. I just got I just screwed up. I didn't mean to do this.
Okay. will enter not guilty pleas to all misdemeanor charges. What's the state's position on bail?
The state's requesting bail $500 cash, with the condition that the defendant not have any contact with Officer Jacob Voigt, except as necessitated by any professional duties. That the defendant not use or possess any alcohol. Mr. Schuh was out on bail in 25 CM 2251 whenever this incident occurred. Given the circumstances here, I think that some cash is necessary. He's had several other instances where he's been convicted of battery or threat to a law enforcement officer in the past. So I think cash is appropriate here.
And Attorney O'Connell?
No objection to the non-monetary conditions. I would ask for a signature bond, though. Obviously, it's not good that Mr. Schuh has an open case and that he's charged with this, but it doesn't sound like he's missed any court appearances. Appears to me that most of this is verbal. Well, obviously, if true, not appropriate. I don't know if it necessarily translates into actually real danger to the community. Mr. Schuh expressed that he does have a job that he's supposed to be starting, so I would ask that you order a signature bond.
Right, and Attorney Wagner, what is the nature of the charge that he's out on bail on?
It was 25 CM 2251. Let me check that.
It's a battery and disorderly conduct.
That is correct.
All right, and I just hold that case up. So it's not good. He's out on bail on an Act 3 eligible offense. He commits an Act 3 eligible offense in count 1. He's a repeater by virtue of having been convicted of similar type of conduct in the past. And when I pulled up the 25 CM 2251, at the time of that initial appearance, there was a PSA report that said he had 3 or more prior violent convictions. So there's a pretty extensive history here. I think there's a need for cash bail under an Act 3 analysis, and I think there's a reason to be concerned about appearance in court, given the resistive behavior here. I think the state's request is warranted. I'll set $500 cash bail, order no contact, direct or indirect, with Officer J. Voigt, unless it's necessary in Officer Voigt's professional duties as a law enforcement officer, and that he not possess or consume any alcohol. We can get a prelim set in the next 20 days, though.
Thank you.
All right, we are adjourned. Great, we'll go on the record in the County of Dane versus Leroy Doyle. That's 25 FO 2295 appearances.
County appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Wasn't this case that you were?
This was the, right. So I represented Mr. Doyle in the past, so this might be a conflict for me.
Okay, so Mr. Doyle, I think we're just going to get you a not guilty plea entered here today. It looks like maybe you've got an ES sanction that you got some more time to sit on. Somebody from their office can send over the offer with the discovery and stuff like that for you. It is a non-criminal charge, so there'd be some sort of offer, usually just a fine that you'd have to pay. You'll find out more about that later. They usually keep whatever their offer is open till the pretrial conference.
So it's a non-criminal.
So this is non-criminal, it's not gonna hold you in custody, but that ES sanction's a whole different deal that you.
I'm saying, so the charge is not having, it's not criminal.
Correct, it's not criminal.
Okay.
And then if you're not in custody, is the address on the complaint a good place to get mail?
Yeah.
All right. I do need to advise you, in case you want to preserve your right to a 6-person jury trial instead of have the judge hear all the evidence, If you want to do that, you got to make a written demand within 10 days of today's date and post $36 in non-refundable jury fees.
So will I come back here? Why in court?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
And
that.
so will I come back here for an initial appearance?
Not on this particular case, because we're just entering a not guilty plea for you right now, and it'll get set for a pretrial.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, we are adjourned.
Next up is Laurel Alexander.
Great. We'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Laurel Alexander. It's 25 CF 2680 appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Ms. Alexander appears in person and with attorney Sean O'Connell. We received a copy of the criminal complaint, waive its reading. The address right now should be the Dane County Jail. She'll be here until at least January is my understanding. And I do not have information regarding eligibility for the public defender's office.
Okay, so Ms. Alexander, the deputy is going to give you the public defender info. If you can't hire an attorney, give them a call. It's a free call from the jail. And they can see if you're eligible for a lawyer. I'll make a finding of probable cause. And as Attorney O'Connell noted, it looks like she was revoked. There was an imposed and stayed sentence, and then Huber was also revoked. So she'll be sitting in the jail until that sentence is served. What's the state's position on bail?
State's requesting $2,000 cash bail with the standard conditions. The defendant was serving a sentence whenever she removed her bracelet and went AWOL. And she was later arrested in Janesville. So I think that cash is appropriate here.
Right. And Attorney O'Connell?
I would just ask for a lesser amount.
All right, it's clearly a cash bail case. I'm willing to set it a little bit less, but not much. I'll set it at $1,500. In order the statutory conditions of bail, should we get it set for a timely preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Okay, we are adjourned.
Next up is Loretta Acro.
Signature bond.
I'm sorry, Akko?
Yes.
Right, we'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Loretta Akko. It's 25 CM 2806 appearances.
State appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Ms. Acko appears in person and with attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the criminal complaint, waive its reading. At this time, Ms. Acko is not eligible for representation through the public defender's office.
All right, so they've given you the public defender info anyways, in case you need it, but you're certainly entitled to hire an attorney on your own. If you're not able to, you could apply for a county appointed attorney. That's the middle option, since it sounds like you make too much money for the public defender, or you could always reapply with the public defender. I'm sorry, what?
Was that the middle option?
The middle option is a county appointed attorney. Yep. And so basically what you need for that is the denial paperwork from the public defender's office, and then you fill out the application in the clerk of court's office in the courthouse. And there's a nominal upfront payment if you're eligible for that, and then you pay the county back in a payment plan that you can afford.
Okay.
I'll make findings of probable cause and are not guilty, please. State's position on bail.
No objection to a signature bond, but with the condition that the defendant not use or possess any alcohol.
No objection.
Okay, well, seems reasonable. We'll order a signature bond with the condition that you not use or possess any alcohol, and we'll be adjourned. You're welcome.
Next up is Aaron Vaga, appearing by Zoom.
We'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Aaron Faga. It's 25 CM 2808 appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Attorney Sean O'Connell appears on behalf of Mr. Faga, who appears today by video from the Dane County Jail. Mr. Faga, have you received a copy of the criminal complaint? All right, we waive any formal reading of the complaint. The address is correct and he is eligible for the public defender's office.
Right, I'll make a finding of probable cause, enter not guilty pleas to the misdemeanors. There is a public safety assessment report. It recommends cash bail. What's the state's position on bail?
The state is requesting $500 cash bail with the conditions that the defendant not have any contact with Charles F., that he be banned from the 800 block of Sunset Drive in Cottage Grove. The defendant has two prior failures to appear that are noted by the reviewing attorney on September 5th of 2025, as well as February 12th of 2024. And in this situation, he violated his bail as well as the injunction that the victim had against him. I think that cash is appropriate.
Right, and Attorney O'Connell?
No objection to the non-monetary conditions. It appears that this is going to be a cash case. I think a little less than $500 would be appropriate, maybe around $250.
All right, well, I think the PSA suggests cash bail and puts him almost at the top of the scale for new criminal activity and failure to appear. I'm concerned about those. I think it's also an Act 3 eligible offense for violating the injunction. I'm willing to set a little bit less cash bail. I'll set it at $350. Order a no contact direct and direct with Charles F. and a ban from the 800 block of Sunset Drive, and we'll be adjourned.
Next up is Mitzi Hostler.
What was the last name?
Hosler.
Yeah,
We'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Mindy Hostler. It's 25 CF 2673 appearances.
state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Ms. Hostler appears in person with attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the criminal complaint, waive its formal reading. The address is correct, and she is eligible for representation through the public defender's office.
Right, and I think Ms. Hostler is serving an ES sanction maybe through December 8th of this year. I'll make a finding of probable cause for the charge. State's position on bail.
The state's asking for $1,000 cash bail, as well as the condition that the defendant not use or possess any controlled substances or drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription. The defendant has failures to appear numerous times, including July 3rd of 2023, which was not served until the bench warrant was not served until November 13th of 2023. November 30th of 2023, where the bench warrant wasn't served until January 19th of 2024. June 17th of 2024, where the bench warrant wasn't served until April 10th of 2025. And then May 21st of 2025, where it wasn't served until June 13th. When the defendant was arrested for this event, she had a DOC warrant out as well. I think that cash bail is appropriate here.
Right, and Attorney O'Connell.
I would ask for a signature bond. Obviously, Ms. Hustler is under the supervision of the DOC and they're choosing not to revoke her. I believe in the complaint, it said that she had a probation warrant for missing an appointment just the day before. So it's not like she had missed for a long period of time and was in absconder status for months on end. Obviously, they think they can still work with her. It's a non-violent crime. It's possession of drugs is all. So I would ask for a signature bond.
All right. I see it as a cash bail case, but a lesser amount than the state requested since it's a non-violent possessory level drug offense. But given the extensive failures to appear, I think there's a need for cash. I'll set $500. I'll order that you not use or possess any controlled substances or drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription. And do you want a timely prelim?
Yes, please.
Okay, we are adjourned.
That's fine. Next up is Tara Schmidt.
We'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Tara Schmidt. It's 25 CF 2469 and 25 CF 2677 appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Ms. Schmidt appears in person with attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received, I'm sorry, are we for initial appearance for both cases?
Yes.
Okay. We've received both the complaints, waived their formal reading. The address is correct, and Ms. Schmidt is eligible for representation through the public defender's office.
Right, I'll make findings of probable cause and we'll address bail. Attorney Wagner.
Your Honor, no objection to a signature bond in each case. But with conditions in 25 CF 2677 that the defendant not operate a motor vehicle and that she not consume any alcohol. Let me check if there's any conditions that were requested in 2469. Standard conditions in 2469.
Any objections?
No.
Right, I'll order signature bonds in both cases, in 25 CF 2677. Order that you not operate a motor vehicle at all and that you not possess or consume any alcohol at all. And then just the standard statutory conditions in 25 CF 2469. As to time limits for the preliminary hearing.
Not waived.
Okay, we are adjourned.
Right, next up is Andrea Smith.
Smith.
Go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Andrea Smith. It's 25 CM 2822 appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Ms. Smith appears in person with attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the criminal complaint, waive its formal reading. The address is correct. Ms. Smith is eligible for representation through the public defender's office.
We'll make findings of probable cause and are not guilty pleas to the charges. State's position on bail.
No objection to a signature bond, but with the condition that the defendant not have any contact with Fleet Farm stores.
No objection.
Right, order a signature bond. Condition will be a ban from all Fleet Farm stores wherever they're located. And we'll be adjourned.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yep, you too.
Next up is Andreas Moore.
All right, we'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Andreas Moore. That's 24 CM 2845. That's a bail bond hearing. And then an initial appearance in 25 CM 2816. Appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Moore appears in person with attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the new complaint, waive its formal reading. The address is correct. He is eligible for representation through the public defender's office.
Great. I'll make a finding of probable cause in the new case, and are not guilty pleas there. And the state's position on bail in each of the cases.
Your Honor, the state is asking for $500 cash bail in each case. In 2816 The state is asking for a non-monetary condition that the defendant not use or possess any controlled substances or drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription. In Dane County Case 24 CM 2845, he failed to appear on February 26th of 2025. The bench warrant was served on March 19th of 2025. He's given a signature bond on March 20th of 2025, and then again failed to appear on May 28th. And that bench warrant wasn't served until August 28th of 2025. He was given a signature bond again, and then on September 2nd, he was given a signature bond on September 2nd, 2025, and he failed to appear again on October 29th until he was arrested for this charge, the new charge. So I think that some cash is appropriate here, Your Honor.
And Attorney O'Connell?
I could have one brief moment.
Sure.
I was in the place I needed to be. It brought me to that, what you had since. I just so much of
All right, no objection to the non-monetary conditions. I understand the state's position asking for cash given the missed court appearances. It's my understanding that Mr. Moore, or at least some of them, was in a healthcare facility dealing with some health issues. He's been homeless for quite some time now. So there's certainly concern, but you know, given the nature of the crimes being nonviolent, I think $500 per case is too much. I would just ask for maybe $100 or $200 per case.
Yeah, I mean, the cases are not super serious. They don't drive a lot of incentive not to appear in court. Unfortunately, we just haven't been able to get Mr. Moore into court on that other case, except when he's been in custody. I'm willing to set it as low as $200 in each case. I think he needs some financial incentive, but it doesn't have to be as high as the state asked for. I'll order also in 2816 that he not use or possess controlled substances, drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription. The prior conditions will remain in the 2845 case and will be adjourned.
Next up is Lamar Blau. Well,
Thank you.
Make that right.
I'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Lamar Blouth Jr. It's 25 CM 2807 appearances.
State appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Blouth appears in person with Attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the criminal complaint, waive its reading. The address in the complaint is correct. And Mr. Blouth is not eligible for representation to the public defender's office at this time.
Okay, so Mr. Blouth, the deputy's giving you the public defender info. That's in case you need it. You have the right to an attorney if you can't hire one on your own. The middle option is to apply for a county attorney, and the public defender can kind of point you in the right direction for that. Or you can always reapply with the public defender. Okay. I'll make a finding of probable cause for the charges. Enter not guilty pleas. State's position on bail.
No objection to a signature bond, but with the conditions that the defendant not use or possess any kind of controlled substances or drug paraphernalia, and not use or possess alcohol.
Any objection?
Quick question.
Hold on.
I think he wants you to say something quietly to him so it isn't recorded and on the record and you don't accidentally incriminate yourself, which is good advice.
Yeah, this does not do this. No objection.
Okay, we'll order a signature. Bond conditions will be that you not use or possess controlled substances or drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription, that you not possess or consume any alcohol, and we'll be adjourned.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, guys. Next up is Joshua Berkhan, hearing by Zoom. Thanks for that. So it sounds like he's not willing to participate, but he has set up outside the cell there.
That's could
Okay.
be dangerous.
Right, and I don't know if you've heard that.
No.
Sounds like he's not willing to participate, but they're set up outside the cells, so he should be able to hear.
Okay.
We'll call the state of Wisconsin versus Joshua Berkhan. It's 25 CF 2681 appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Attorney Sean O'Connell appears on behalf of Mr. Berkhan, who appears by video today from the Dane County Jail. We've received a copy of the criminal complaint. Count 2 alleges disorderly conduct, use of a dangerous weapon. This time I would move to dismiss the use of a dangerous weapon enhancer. As I read the complaint, it's alleged that he has a lighter in his hand, that he flicks a couple times. I don't think that meets the definition of a dangerous weapon under Wisconsin statute 939.22 sub 10.
And Attorney Wagner, your response?
I tend to agree. So we can dismiss the dangerous weapon enhancer.
Okay. To me, I was having trouble seeing that it's not designed as a weapon to begin with, and then it either has to be used or intended to be used in a manner that's likely to cause death or great bodily harm. So we'll dismiss the dangerous weapon enhancer as stipulated to by the state.
Waive any other reading of the complaint then, and I do not have information on eligibility for the public defender's office.
All right, so Mr. Berkhan, we'll get you the public defender contact info. If you can't hire an attorney, give them a call to see if you're eligible. I'll find probable cause for the remaining counts and or not guilty plea to the misdemeanor. State's position on bail.
No objection to a signature bond, but with the condition that the defendant not use or possess any controlled substances or drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription, and that he not be at St. Mary's Hospital unless it's a legitimate medical emergency.
No objection to any of that. And then after you set bail, I would also ask that you order a competency evaluation.
Okay, so I'll order a signature bond. Conditions will be that you not use or possess controlled substances or drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription. That you not be at St. Mary's Hospital unless it's a legitimate emergency situation. And any additional statements you want to give on the competency evaluation? Certainly understand you don't want to violate privilege.
Yeah, just based on his non-participation here. And then also as I look, it looks like on CCAP, it looks like he has several cases in Marathon County that competency has also been raised.
Okay. Well, I'll find a basis to doubt competency on that record. We'll order a competency evaluation on an outpatient basis, and we'll suspend the proceedings, and we are adjourned.
Next up is HAYDEN ARNESON. Sir.
Right, we'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus HAYDEN ARNESON. It's 25 CF 2682 appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Arneson appears in person with attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the criminal complaint, waive its reading. The address is correct, and he is eligible for representation through the public defender's office.
So I'll make findings of probable cause, men are not guilty pleas to the misdemeanors, state's position on bail.
The state's, no objection to a signature bond. The state would request non-monetary conditions, that the defendant not operate a motor vehicle, that he not use or possess any alcohol, and that he not possess any dangerous weapons as defined by the statute.
No objection.
All right, anybody have a thought as to whether at least pretrial services might be useful?
No.
I would not object to pretrial services. I don't have a result here in the notes as to the blood alcohol content.
All right, well, quite frankly, Mr. Arneson, I think the state wouldn't have to do much prodding to convince me that maybe some cash bail is appropriate. There's a joint recommendation for a signature bond, but I'm not going to do that unless you're at least monitored through pretrial services to make sure that you're not consuming alcohol. This is a fourth offense. It's a felony. It's serious. I think there was an argument that they could have charged the felony eluding charge as opposed to the misdemeanor that they charged. So
Yeah.
might be a break.
Thank you very much.
Well, they have more information than I have. So I'm gonna order a signature bond on the condition you report to pretrial services tomorrow by 10 a.m. at the latest. You're gonna be equipped with a breathalyzer and a bracelet. You're gonna be tested for alcohol and they'll report to the court if you're non-compliant.
Am I able to still go to work and stuff?
Yeah, you'll be able to go to work. You can't operate a motor vehicle at all, though. I'm ordering that, and I'll order that you not use or possess any dangerous weapons, as that term is defined by the state statutes. You're gonna, oftentimes, I think it's 3 times a day that you have to blow into a breathalyzer, and those schedules can be kind of tweaked depending upon your work schedule. You're gonna have to work that out with pretrial services. But it's important that you abide by all these conditions. If we're back here again, I think the state's gonna have a pretty compelling argument for some cash bail, and we're not talking small amounts.
Yes, sir.
All right, any questions about pretrial services and where you need to be?
Thank you very much.
Okay, we are adjourned. Oh, time limits,
Not waived.
right?
Next up is Bryce Marsh, during by Zoom.
Okay, we'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Bryce Marsh. It's 25 CF 2675 and 25 CM 2815 appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Attorney Sean O'Connell appears in person on behalf of Mr. Marsh, who appears today by video from the Dane County Jail. I've received copies of the criminal complaints. Mr. Marsh, have you received copies of those complaints?
I think he's muted. Mr. Marsh, give us a thumbs up if you've got copies of the criminal complaints. All right, there's a thumbs down, and perhaps the deputy can answer as to whether there's reasons why he wouldn't be provided the complaints.
He does have them.
Oh, okay.
Muted, sir.
All right, so the deputy's asserting he was provided those
All
complaints.
right, we'll waive the reading of it. It appears the address is correct and Mr. Marsh is eligible for representation through the public defender's office.
Okay, I'll make findings of probable cause and are not guilty pleas to the misdemeanors, state's position on bail.
The state's asking for $10,000 cash bail. The defendant had missed court 3 times in 2022. He was recently extradited on October 21st of 2024. He does have a recent history of having cash bond. These charges are all Act 3 crimes. And the victim here needs protection from the defendant. These are some pretty serious allegations. I think cash is appropriate to assure his appearance in court as well as to protect the public. I'd also ask for a no contact with Jacqueline F.W. That's JACQUELINE F.W. And then in the misdemeanor case, the state has no objection to a signature bond with the condition that the defendant be banned from the Quick Trip at 4741 Lean Road.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the name of the road.
Is it Line Road or Lean, LIEN? Yeah, LIEN.
Lean Road. Right, and the defense position?
No objection to the non-monetary conditions. On the felony case, I think given the nature of it, I understand that cash is going to be ordered. I think something less than $10,000 is appropriate though. So I would ask maybe a couple $1,000. On the misdemeanor case, given that I suspect there's going to be cash on that, on the felony case, I would just ask for a small amount of cash on the misdemeanor, maybe $100.
Well, I don't know that all three charges in 25 CF 2675 are Act 3 eligible, but certainly counts 1 and 2 are. They're extremely serious. It's just kind of a brazen attempt at an assault and strangling somebody and trying to sexually assault them. Reads as though there may have been other people around. It just strikes me that somebody who's maybe willing to do that really needs to be monitored closely and have a significant amount on the line in order to protect the public. I think this state's request is necessary. I'll set $10,000 cash bail order, no contact, direct or indirect with Jacqueline F.W. in 25 CM 2815. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me to order a signature bond if Mr. Marsh isn't going to appear. In the other case, he's not going to appear in the misdemeanor at the same time, and his history suggests I ought to be concerned about appearance as well as protection of the public. I'll set $150 cash bail there. I'll order a ban from the Quick Trip at 4741 Lean Road. As to time limits for the preliminary hearing?
Not waived.
Okay, we are adjourned.
Next up is Armand Rosie.
What the public defender's office?
How much was the cash in that
10,000 in the felony and 150 in the misdemeanor.
150? Okay. Just
Right.
making sure.
Go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Armand Rosit, 25 CM 2817 appearances.
State appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Rosita appears in person with attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the criminal complaint, waive its reading. The address is correct and he is eligible for representation with the public defender's office.
Right, we'll make findings of probable cause, enter not guilty pleas. There is a public safety assessment report that recommends a signature bond. What's the state's position?
No objection to a signature bond, but with the conditions that the defendant not consume any alcohol and that he be banned from Orchard Drive in Madison.
No objection.
Okay, order a signature bond. Condition will be that you not possess or consume any alcohol and you be banned from Orchard Drive in Madison. And we'll be adjourned.
All right, questions, sir? Next up is Kyle Burrows for forfeiture. Burrows?
Go on the record in the County of Dane versus Kyle Burrows. It's 25 FO 2294 appearances.
The county appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
All right, and Mr. Burrows is appearing in custody without an attorney. Mr. Burrows, do we have a good address for you on the complaint there? just below your name in the upper left-hand corner.
I actually just recently moved to Duluth, Minnesota.
Okay,
I
do you know that address in case we need it?
Yes, 2211 Gracelon Road. That's excuse me, GREYSOLON. Duluth, Minnesota, 55812.
Okay, so I have some good news for you. I think you're gonna get released today. They've charged you with a non-criminal county ordinance for county disorderly conduct. So it's more like a traffic ticket. You're not gonna have bail. You'll get released. They will have an offer here though today. If you want to accept the offer, then you can just be done with it. If you don't, then you'd have to show up for future court dates. Otherwise you get defaulted on that.
Sure.
Is there an offer?
County would offer court costs.
Okay, so it's gonna be $114.50. You get 60 days to pay that. If you need more time, you can work out a payment plan with the clerk's office. Did you want to accept their offer and enter a guilty or no contest plea to the charge, or do you want to contest the charges and enter a not guilty plea?
For the one charge you're offered?
There's, if you were booked, yeah, you were booked in on 2 criminal charges. I think this resolves all of that. They've decided to just charge you with 1 county ordinance for county disorderly conduct out of all of that. You're not getting charged with crimes, and they're asking that you pay $114.50, which is actually the absolute minimum. It's the court costs in the case. That's to resolve it and be done with it here today. If you don't want to do that, you can enter a not guilty plea. You're still going to get released. You just need to show up for future court dates.
I'll accept, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll judge you guilty of county disorderly conduct based upon your no contest plea. You order to pay your court costs. They're going to give you some information about paying the court costs, and you'll get processed and released yet today. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
We are adjourned.
Next up is Deliano Black appearing by Zoom.
Great. I'll go on the, oops. All set. We'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Deliano Black. That's 25 CF 2669 appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Attorney Sean O'Connell appears in person on behalf of Miss Black, who appears by video from the Dane County Jail. Miss Black, do you have a copy of the criminal complaint?
Yes, sir.
All right, we waive any formal reading of the complaint. Is 300 Femerite Drive in Madison a good mailing address for you?
I don't have a mailing address. It has to be the Beacon.
All right, I asked that her mail be sent to the Beacon, and I do not have information regarding eligibility.
Okay, so Ms. Black, if you can't hire an attorney on your own after today, you could apply with the public defender's office. And if you're eligible, we'll get you a lawyer at little or no expense to you. And if you don't have a good mailing address, we can use the Beacon for mail, but you could also sign up for text message reminders if you have a working cell phone, and you can let the court aides know about that. I'll make findings of probable cause, enter a not guilty plea to the misdemeanor, and state's position on bail.
Let's see here. The state is asking for $500 cash bail, as well as the condition that the defendant be banned from the 26 and 2700 block of University Avenue. She does have a failure to appear in September of 2023, and she was out on bail in this case whenever this incident occurred. So I think that some cash is appropriate here. There's also a significant amount of damage to the businesses that were affected.
Okay, Attorney O'Connell.
I have no objection to the address ban. I would ask for a signature bond. The single missed court appearance sounds like it's a bit dated. It's over 2 years at this point. Doesn't, I understand that there's significant damage. It seems a little odd to me as far as what was going on, and it might be a mental health issue. So I don't think there's necessarily cash is needed for this case.
All right. Well, it's not an extensive history of failing to appear. It is still a nonviolent property offense, despite the significant amount of the alleged damage, not condoning the conduct, but I gotta decide whether cash is necessary to assure the defendant's appearance in court. Yes, I'm not persuaded that cash is necessary to do that. I'll order a signature bond, but the condition will be a ban from the 2600 to 2700 block of University Avenue. And then we need to talk about time limits.
You just have one quick second. Not waived at this time. Let's get it scheduled.
Okay, we'll get it timely scheduled. And Ms. Black, make sure you call the public defender's office right away because the preliminary hearing is going to come up quick.
Next up is Tommy Hodges.
We'll go on the record, the state of Wisconsin versus Tommy Hodges. It's 25 CT 783 appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Hodges appears in person with attorney Sean O'Connell. We received a copy of the criminal complaint. Waive its reading. He is eligible for representation through the public defender's office, and there is an updated address to provide. It is 7945 Tree Lane, apartment 201 in Madison.
Thank you. I'll make findings of probable cause. When or not guilty, pleas to the misdemeanors, state's position on bail.
No objection to a signature bond, but with the condition that the defendant not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license, and that he not operate a motor vehicle without a functioning IID.
Any objections?
I guess I would just ask that the condition be he not operate a motor vehicle. I guess essentially if he passes the time that he's required to have an IID, I don't think this case needs to continue to have him to have an IID. So I would ask that he just comply with the DOT requirements.
Any response from the state?
I don't have a detailed traffic record here.
Looks like
Suppose
he's
on the
required to have an IID to December 31st of 3999, at least according to the notations, if I'm reading that correctly. And looks like he got the HDO warning letter on April 4th of 25. Pretty extensive OER history. I'm gonna order the signature bond. I'm gonna order that you not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license and that you not operate a motor vehicle without a functioning IID. If that changes, then you can have your lawyer file a motion to review that, but until you've taken care of that and that's no longer a DOT requirement, I'm gonna make that your condition of bail. We'll be adjourned.
So this one, next up is Kevin Johnson.
Go on the record, in the state of Wisconsin versus Kevin Johnson, it's 25 CM 2814 appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Johnson appears in person with attorney Sean O'Connell. We received a copy of the criminal complaint, waive its reading, the address is correct. And I do not have information regarding eligibility for the public defender's office.
Right, Mr. Johnson, they're gonna give you the public defender contact info. If you can't hire an attorney after today, give them a call and see if you're eligible. If you are, they'll get you a lawyer at no expense to you, okay? I'll make findings of probable cause and or not guilty, please. State's position on bail.
No objection to a signature bond, but the state would request that the defendant is placed on pretrial services to monitor alcohol. This is his fourth open case, and it seems alcohol is a factor in each one of his cases. So I think that pretrial services would be appropriate here.
Any objections?
No objection.
All right. we'll order a signature bond on the condition you report to pretrial services by 10 a.m. tomorrow. The deputy's going to give you their information and map to their office, but they're on the 5th floor of the courthouse. You got to be there by 10 tomorrow. If not, then there'll be a warrant for your arrest. And they're going to make sure that you're not using alcohol, either with a breathalyzer or a bracelet to monitor alcohol use. So order that you not possess or consume any alcohol. Any questions about the pretrial services requirements, sir? Okay, we are adjourned.
Next up is Devin Dupree.
We'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Devin Dupree, 25 CM 2590. It's a pretrial services violation report. And then in 25 CM 2820 initial appearance. And then the County of Dane versus Devin Dupree, 25 FO 2113 appearances.
The state and county appear by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Dupree appears in person with attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the criminal complaint. The address appears correct. He is not eligible for representation through the public defender's office at this time.
Okay, and so the bailiff's giving you the public defender info. If you can't hire an attorney on your own, you could reapply or you could apply for a county attorney. The county attorney is kind of the middle option. I'll make a finding of probable cause in the new case, enter a not guilty plea there. So those charges, we'll just get a not guilty plea entered in the forfeiture case. That'll track along with the criminal cases. And then we also have to address bail after a pretrial services violation report in 25 CM 2590. I don't know if you need a copy of that, Attorney O'Connell.
Is it just for these new charges or is it something
So it's
different?
like new charges and some alleged missed breath tests.
That's okay. I don't even print it.
What's the state's position on bail in each of the cases?
Let's see here. So give me one moment. Well, the reviewing attorney was recommending a signature bond with the conditions that the defendant not have any contact with Todd P. And that he not consume any alcohol. I'm not sure if she was aware of the pretrial services report whenever this was reviewed. And that was going to be set for a bail hearing. Potentially that might have changed her position. I still think that pretrial services with a signature bond is appropriate here, so I'd ask the court to follow that.
And would that be continuing pretrial services in a signature bond in the 2590 case as well then?
Correct.
Okay.
No objection.
Any objections? All right. Let me just take a closer look at things. And any thoughts, or maybe I missed it, about some sort of address ban? It says that they're neighbors. I don't know how close they are.
I believe it's next door to each other.
That seems accurate.
I'm just looking to see whether the underlying case involved the same parties or not. Don't think so. All right, well, Mr. Dupre, you're maybe getting a break, but obviously the DA's office has reviewed all the police reports. They know your history better than I do. I'll order signature bonds with pretrial services in both cases. In the new case, there'll be a no contact director and direct with Todd P. And I'll just order a ban from Todd P's residence, so you can't be stepping on their property. You see them, you gotta be going the other way. You're the one who's gonna get in trouble. And again, I'll order that you not possess or consume any alcohol and that you be monitored for that. You gotta make this work, Mr. Dupre. I mean, oftentimes the state's asking for cash bail when you come in on pretrial services violation report, because we've tried something less onerous and restrictive. I think this is probably gonna be the last opportunity to make it work. So if you need help with treatment and stuff like that, pretrial services is going to try and point you in the right direction. And if there's nothing else, we'll be adjourned. Good luck, sir.
Sorry, sweet. Next up is KADEN THOMAS for forfeiture.
I think there's a bail hearing too. 25 CF6. Go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus KADEN PaetzkE, 25 CF6, and County of Dane versus KADEN PaetzkE, 25 FO 2297. Appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Paetzke appears in person with attorney Sean O'Connell.
All right, so there's a county forfeiture. I think we'll just get a not guilty plea entered there, and I'll track along with the criminal charges. Looks like there was a failure to appear on August 11th. Actually, first, I don't know if he's still got a lawyer or has a lawyer. It looks like maybe they hadn't appointed anybody. Is he going to be eligible for an attorney?
My understanding is he is eligible.
Okay. And then, do we still have a good mailing address at 813 Park Circle in Sun Prairie?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then, Attorney O'Connell, if you've got any information you want to provide about well, so it looks like there was a failure to appear on August 11th, August 4th. Those were all
Yeah, if I can have a
2025,
minute.
obviously. Yep.
All right. It's my understanding that he missed that initial court appearance on August 4th of this year, and then contacted the courthouse, try to get that rescheduled. That's reflected in the CCAP notes as well. It was rescheduled to the following week, August 11th, but he was not made aware of that. So he didn't know that it had been rescheduled and didn't know of any other court appearances.
Okay. What's the state's position on bail?
The state's asking for $500 cash bail. There's, aside from the two non-appearances on August 4th and August 11th, this has there was a phone appearance on March 31st of 2025. And given the seriousness of the charges here, I think that cash is necessary at this point to assure the defendant's appearance and move the case forward. It's been several months.
Okay, and I'm concerned that the address is not a good place to get mail. I see a couple instances where notices were turned as undeliverable, and I think they were sent to that address on Park Circle. Is there an apartment number or something associated with that, or does it have to be sent in somebody else's name?
No, just my name, sir.
Hmm.
Apartment 113, 818 West Main Street,
Something completely different address on. Could you repeat that?
818 West Main Street, Sun Prairie, Wisconsin.
That was apartment 113?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I thought I had asked whether the Park Circle was correct, and he said yes, but I'm glad we're sorting out the address issue here. Anything else, Attorney Wagner?
No.
Right, Attorney O'Connell, anything else?
I would just add, he obviously missed those court appearances that we discussed. There were other court appearances before that he did make. He's eligible for the public defender's office. It appears that my office just hasn't been able to appoint him an attorney yet. He's obviously here and spent some time in custody now. I would ask that he be given one more shot at a signature bond.
All right, well, my concern is, and it may be that he didn't get the notice for the August 11th date because he didn't have the address up to date. But he knew it wasn't just gonna go away.
No.
And we're here, over 3 months after that, and you didn't get in touch with the court or turn yourself into the jail. You were charged with very serious charges. I think maybe at this point, there's a need for some financial investment. I'll set it at $300. I'll order the prior non-monetary conditions. Hopefully that's something that you can post, Mr. Paetzke. Should we get it set for a preliminary hearing at this point? I think he had previously waived the time limits, but since I'm setting some cash bail, if he wants a timely prelim, we'll get it set.
Yes, I'd say schedule it for a prelim. That will probably cause my office to appoint faster too.
Okay, we are adjourned.
All right, second swing. Next up is Jamie Tarrant.
Be a signature bond.
Okay. Go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Jamie Tarrant. It's 25 CF 2679 appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Tarrant appears in person with attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the criminal complaint. Waive its reading. The address is correct. And at this time, Mr. Tarrant is not eligible for representation through the public defender's office.
So Mr. Tarrant, you have the absolute right to an attorney, and Attorney O'Connell is going to assist you today. If you can't hire one after today, you could apply for a county attorney. That's the middle option, or you could reapply with the public defender's office. And that's the information that the bailiff's giving you in case you need that.
Yes, thank you.
I'll make a finding of probable cause, enter not guilty pleas to the misdemeanors, and state's position on bail.
No objection to a signature bond, but with the condition that the defendant not have any contact with police officer Huber, except in her official capacity as a law enforcement officer, that he not possess or consume any alcohol, and that he be referred to pretrial services for alcohol monitoring.
Okay, any objections?
I could just have one moment.
Sure.
No objection to the signature bond or the no contact that was requested. I don't have an objection to the no alcohol, although I don't think pretrial services is necessary in this situation. While it appears that alcohol may have played a factor, I don't think there's been a history that's been shown for Mr. Taryn that this is a reoccurring problem. Additionally, Mr. Taryn lives out of state. I know that pretrial services can work with that, but I think it just adds more complexity. I just don't think it's necessary in this case.
All right, and any response from the state?
Let me see here if this. Doesn't appear there was any kind of PBT results or anything that was stated here. I would just leave it to the court's discretion as to whether pretrial services is appropriate.
And is there a prior criminal record?
I did not see a prior Wisconsin record.
Let's see here. There was oh, no, there was the other potential co-defendant, but no, I don't have anything for Mr. Turan.
All right. I'm gonna try a signature bond without the pretrial services. You can't possess or consume any alcohol, and you can't have any contact, direct or indirect, with Officer Huber except as necessary in their ordinary duties as a law enforcement officer. You got to make court dates, otherwise we're probably looking at cash bail, not just pretrial services. As to time limits,
We'll waive the time limits.
okay, we are adjourned. Good luck.
Right this way. Next up is TARVARIS CORTEZ.
We'll call the County of Dane versus TARVARIS CORTEZ. It's 25 FO 2296, and then the state of Wisconsin versus TARVARIS CORTEZ, 25 CM 2810, 25 CM 1996, 25 CM 1942, and 25 CF 2450. Appearances.
The state and county appear by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Griggs appears in person with attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of all the criminal complaints, waived their reading. The address is correct and he is eligible for representation through the public defender's office.
Great. I'll make findings of probable cause in each of the criminal cases. One are not guilty pleas to the misdemeanors. And then in the forfeiture, we'll get a not guilty plea entered there, and that'll track along with the criminal cases. Just checking to see if there was a PSA in any of these cases. Do not believe so. State's position on bail.
The state is requesting in 25 CF 2450 $750 cash, with the condition that the defendant not have any contact with Charles G, as in golf, and that he be banned from the 500 block of Northport Drive. In this case, the defendant pushed the victim down a stairwell, caused a broken kneecap, and stole his phone for really no known reason. He had two probable cause arrest warrants at the time of that offense. So I think that some cash is necessary in that case. In the misdemeanor cases, 25 CM 1942, I think a lesser amount of cash is appropriate, also with the condition that the defendant not have any contact with LW and also not be in the 500 block of Northport Drive. And then in 25 CM 1996, again, the state is asking for a lesser amount of cash, as well as the condition that the defendant not have contact with Kamika M for her residence. And Kamika is Kamika. And that residence would be on the 2900 block of Traceway Drive.
And that leaves, I think, 25 CM 2810.
Oh, yep. In this case, we're requesting, again, a small amount of cash, but a ban from Ridgecrest Apartments.
Okay, and then Attorney O'Connell.
No objection to the non-monetary conditions that the state is asking for in each case. I would ask for signature bonds. Looks like Mr. Griggs' last charge offense was a decade ago in 2015. He had a couple cases between 2012 and 2015. My review of CCAP shows that he received a signature bond for each of those cases, and he made all court appearances. So I think the risk of failure to appear is pretty low here. I think the only concern then comes into protection of the public. I understand that there's a pretty significant injury with that substantial battery. It doesn't sound like it was necessarily intended to be as significant as it as a result was. So taking that in consideration, I would ask for a signature bond in each case.
All right, I want to clarify something. The clerk popped me up with a note that said serving sentence through December 16th. Is that Mr. Griggs?
Yes, it looks like there are a couple of Contempt of Court sentences that they would be opposite.
I see. Any response from the state?
Your Honor, we're talking about 4 open cases now, and in which case there's continued assaulted or violent conduct, criminal damage to property. I think it's important to be able to get Mr. Griggs into court and get these cases moving. The first one looks like was 1996. I think that was the referral is back in May 23rd of 2025. The 1942 case is August of 2025. So this kind of thing has been going on for a significant amount of time, and I think that it's just important to have him appear in court.
All right, and any response to that, Attorney O'Connell?
No.
Well, he's got 2 Act 3 eligible offenses. I guess I'm concerned just by the sheer number of offenses. One of them, obviously, felony level violent offense. I think some cash is warranted to protect the public. The state, I guess, didn't ask for anything more than $750 in the substantial battery case. I'm not going to go below that. I'll order that. I'll order a no contact director and direct with Charles G. and a ban from the 500 block of Northport Drive. And then in 25 CM 1996, that's another Act 3 offense. I'll set $500 cash bail, order a no contact director and direct with Kamika M. or their residence, and a ban from the 900 block of Traceway Drive. In 25 CM 1942, I'm willing to set $250 cash bail and order a no contact director and direct with LW and a ban from the 500 block of Northport Drive. And in 25 CM 2810, I'll set $300 cash bail and a ban from the Ridgecrest Apartments. As to time limits for the preliminary hearing?
Not waived.
Okay, we'll get that scheduled and we'll be adjourned.
That's fine. Next up is Roman Jelinek.
On the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Roman Jelinek, it's 25 CM 2812 and 25 CM 2813 appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Jelinek appears in person and with attorney Sean O'Connell. We received the initial appearance.
Two initial
Okay.
appearances.
We do have copies of both of those complaints, waived their formal reading. Mr. Jelinek is eligible for the public defender's office. I do have an updated address for the court. That address is 212 Monroe Street, apartment 2 in Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin, 53538.
Right, I'll make findings of probable cause. Will enter not guilty pleas to the charges. State's position on bail.
No objection to a signature bond in each case. In 2812, the state is requesting a non-monetary condition that the defendant not have any contact with ZMG or LNT. Need to be banned from the 4900 block of Camden Road and not use or possess any alcohol. And that he be placed on pretrial services for alcohol monitoring. He does have 3 open cases with alcohol being a significant factor.
And just to clarify, is it 3 open cases plus these 2 to give us 5?
I think
Or just a total of 3 open cases?
I believe it's 3 total
it's-
with these.
it's just these total 3.
And I cut you off there, Attorney.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
Then in 2813, requesting no contact with JAK. Again, no alcohol. And the pretrial services. Again, alcohol is the driving factor, I think, behind a lot of this activity.
Okay, any objections?
No.
Right, we'll order signature bonds in both cases and the condition that you go to pretrial services. You're gonna have to report there by 10 a.m. tomorrow. Their office is basically closed for new intake. So you're gonna have to come downtown tomorrow to do that by 10 o'clock. Make sure you're there. Otherwise, they'll contact us and we'll have to issue warrants. They're gonna use a breathalyzer or a bracelet to make sure that you're not consuming alcohol. I'll order that you not use or possess alcohol in both cases. In 25 CM 2812, a no contact direct and direct with, was it ZMG and LNT? And then a ban from the 4900 block of Camden Road.
I'm sorry, I just would like to confirm initial of the second 7 initial. Is that L N as in Mary as in Nancy? If you don't know.
N as in Nancy.
Thank you, I got it.
And just a second. I think that was all the conditions in that case, and then the pretrial services and the signature bond in 25 CM 2813 and no contact direct and direct with JAK. And obviously pretrial services and no alcohol. I think that covers it and we'll be adjourned.
Ready to swing? Next up is Raimundo VEGA-NEAVE.
You're welcome. Signature bond starts to 1 of each.
We'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Raimundo VEGA-NEAVE, 25 CM 2818 appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. VEGA-NEAVE appears in person and with attorney Sean O'Connell. We received a copy of the criminal complaint. Waive its formal reading. The address is correct. And I do not have information regarding eligibility for the public defender's office.
Okay, sir, the deputy is going to give you the public defender info. If you're unable to hire an attorney on your own after today, you can give them a call and see if you're eligible. I'll make a finding of probable cause for count one. The second count is actually just a forfeiture. We'll get not guilty pleas entered to both charges and the state's position on bail.
No objection to a signature bond, but with the condition that the defendant not direct any acts or threats of violence towards Juana B.H. That's Juana is Juana. B is in boy, H is in hotel.
Okay, any objections?
No.
All right, we'll order a signature bond, conditional be that you direct no acts or threats of violence towards Juana B.H. and we'll be adjourned.
Sorry, right this way. Next up is Stephen Higginson.
We pause quick before we
Sure.
actually call this case. I just need to talk to him.
Okay.
I'll need the live stream for that. What's that? I'll need the live stream for that. Oh, perfect. Well. You know, I just need to step away. All right.
Signature bond. No use and possession of alcohol, ban from Neil's Liquor. And a ban from McDonald's, both on Allen Boulevard in Middleton.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Stephen Higginson, 25 CM 2811 appearances.
State appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Hogginson appears in person and with attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the criminal complaint, waive its formal reading. He is eligible for representation through the public defender's office. And the address should be updated to 1819 Middleton Street, Middleton, Wisconsin, 53526. 62, excuse me.
I'll make a finding of probable cause and are not guilty plea. State's position on bail.
No objection to a signature bond, but with the condition that the defendant not use or possess any alcohol. That he be banned from Neil's Liquor at 2415 Allen Boulevard in Middleton. And that he be banned from the McDonald's at 2626 Allen Boulevard in Middleton, Wisconsin.
No objection.
Okay, we'll order a signature bond, conditional B that you not possess or consume any alcohol. And that should be banned from the Neil's Liquor and the McDonald's on Allen Boulevard. And we'll be adjourned.
Right this way. Next up is Craig Nudge.
We'll call the state of Wisconsin versus Crick Notich. It's 25 CM 2821 appearances.
The state appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Notch appears in person and with attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the criminal complaint. With its formal reading, he is eligible for representation through the public defender's office. And the address should be updated to 312 Wisconsin Avenue, Madison, Wisconsin.
Okay, I'll make findings of probable cause and are not guilty pleas to the charges. And state's position on bail.
No objection to a signature bond, but with the condition that the defendant not have any contact with AKP. And that he not use or possess alcohol.
No objection.
Okay, order a signature bond, conditional be a no contact director and direct with AKP and that you not possess or consume any alcohol. Now we'll be adjourned.
Right this way. Next up is Michael Arbuckle for a forfeiture.
Well, that might be it. for you guys. I think the last two are phone calls. So, have a good night.
Probably bring in the next guy, whether he back up.
Go on the record in the County of Dane versus Michael Arbuckle Jr. It's 25 FO 2293 appearance.
The county appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Right, Mr. Arbuckle is in person in custody without a lawyer. They've given you a forfeiture complaint that alleges county possession of drug paraphernalia. Do you have a good address on that for you?
Yeah.
All right. And so the good news is that's a non-criminal charge. I don't think there's anything else holding you. So you're going to get released today no matter what. They are going to have an offer. If you want to accept that offer, then you could just be done with this case. If not, you're still going to get released, but you'd have to show up for future court dates, okay?
Signature bond today?
Well, no, actually, there would be no bond. You're getting released without having to sign anything or post anything because it's a non-criminal charge. It's more like a traffic ticket.
Okay, so I'm getting released today?
You're getting released today, and we'll see what their offer is.
The offer would be court costs.
Okay, so court costs are $114.50. That's not like bail that you have to pay up front, but if you wanted to accept their offer, you'd need to pay that in the next 60 days or work out a payment plan if you need more time to pay that. Did you want to accept their offer and enter a no contest and guilty plea, or do you want to contest the charge and enter a not guilty?
I want to get released today, so.
You're getting released no matter what.
There's no contest. I guess I'll pay it in the future.
Right, if you want to accept their offer, just be done with the case and pay it in the future. You can enter a no contest plea. If you wanted to contest the charges, you're still going to get released. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
No
matter what you decide, you're getting released, okay?
Okay, no contest, I guess.
Sounds good. I'll judge you guilty of the charge based upon your no contest plea. Or do you pay the court costs? They're going to give you some info about making payments. If you need more time, get a hold of the clerk's office. You can try and work out a payment plan to extend it beyond that.
But I'm getting released today.
Yep, no matter what.
All right.
All right, anything else, sir?
No.
Okay, we are adjourned. Good luck.
Next up is Liddell Jordan for forfeiture.
Okay, we'll call the County of Dane versus Liddell Jordan. It's 25 FO 2298 appearances.
County appears by ADA Ben Wagner.
Mr. Jordan appears in person in custody without counsel. So they've given you a forfeiture complaint. That's a non-criminal charge for county bail jumping, more like a traffic ticket. You're going to get released today no matter what you want to do, but they're going to have an offer. If you want to accept the offer, then you can just be done with this case. If not, you're still going to get released, but you would need to show up for future court dates. Do we have a good address for you to get mail from the court on that complaint?
Yes, sir.
All right. And what's the county's offer?
The offer would be court costs.
Okay, so it'd be $114.50 if you wanted to accept their offer and enter a no contest or guilty plea. If you wanted to contest the charges, you can enter a not guilty plea. Either way, you're going to get out today. Did you want to take that offer? Or do you want to contest the charges?
So the offer mean what I have to pay it or?
Right, if you accept their offer, then you would have to pay it. You don't have to pay it up front to get released. You're getting released no matter what. You'd either have to pay it in the next 60 days or work out a payment plan. If you needed more time, you'd have to talk to the clerk's office.
Okay, can I work out a payment plan?
Yep, you'll need to contact the clerk's office to do that, but you wanted to accept their offer and just be done with the case.
Yes.
All right, I'll accept that as your no contest plea to the charge, or you pay the court costs, $114.50. They'll give you some information about that. You're going to get processed and released yet today here, and then just call the clerk's office or stop by sometime to arrange the payment plan. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
No, sir.
All right, we are adjourned. Take care, sir.
Right, Mr. Jordan. That's everyone's that.